Welcome back to Studio Adele. And if you're just tuning in and you're just joining us, we are live on Before Meet Now. Before Meet Now is a podcast where generations get to meet, stories get to collide, and even love itself gets to be questioned. We've had lots of back and forth on this very issue: commitment, love, and relationship. We've heard from the before, we've heard from now. And at this junction, Ma, you said you have a question for the now.
Yeah.
Please, can you throw your question, Ma?
Sorry for the therapist.
For the therapist, thank you.
yes, so I know I said I gave reasons why there shouldn't be anything about sex before marriage. So I was keenly, interested in what argument she's going to have against that, as in favor of sex. So when she said have sex, in fact, she said I highly recommend. So I wanted to hear the reason, and what I picked was, she said, so that you know who you are going on with, probably how he does in bed, if he's had this experience and that experience. And then my question is this: you said, especially if you have a ring, you're going to marriage. If you go into bed with him, if you have sex with him, and you say that, I think there's this language, say Eshi Morocco, the guy is good, he's a Ronaldo, and that's why you now decide to go into the marriage. If 1 month into the marriage, or a few weeks or some months into the marriage, Eshi Morocco, Ronaldo no longer becomes Ronaldo and he starts to lose penalties anyhow. He does not have that drive anymore. Either for, I don't know, for any reason, if he's no longer that guy that can drive you mad like that again, what do you do? Because that was your reason for testing him. What do you do? That's a rhetoric, because I'm not going to take our time. So I know you're not going to say start cheating. I guess you're not going to say start cheating, because that won't be fine in marriage.
Okay.
So you'll probably say, well, at that point, we'll seek help.
Okay.
Yes. So
Okay.
yes, you
Okay.
seek help, right?
I think that's more professional.
So I'm going to bring that. So what happens to the guy that you didn't have anything to do with? You got married soon. You ticked all the other godly boxes and personal boxes now. So I'm not highly religious now. And then when you get into marriage, you realize that it's probably not even close to being an osime. And and then you decide to seek that same help at that point. And that takes care of the counts. Now, you said by the time you get a girl, you don't even know how many body counts. And I know, as a medical practitioner, she knows the downsides of marrying or getting involved with someone with high body counts who has had multiple sexual partners. In fact, you are very vulnerable to a lot of diseases because of that person's exposure. There are so many health medical conditions that exposure to multiple partners can bring forth for you. So if you are trying to evade that, avoid being vulnerable due to having multiple body counts or having a partner that has a lot of body counts, but you want to test and be sure that experience that guy wants to give you, it means he has garnered it in many places.
Yeah,
Sure.
exactly.
So you are typically saying that I don't mind the consequence as long as it gives me the Ronaldo on bed. But that means self-love is not consciously in place. The 5 minutes love for yourself is what was considered, not in the long run. So that's why I said the rhetorics. I was not like I'm asking her to answer.
It.
So the same thing you would do if you have tested the guy and then you get married to him. And I talk to people, and that's happened a lot of times. When we first got married in the first year, my husband was. I don't know what suddenly happened though. When it started. Oh, I don't even know. Then at that point, when I talked to her, I said, at this point, he's already your husband. She's already your wife. And if you say, go away, you want to pick another one for this flimsy, I call it flimsy reason, I would say that you don't know what will happen to the next person. So you want to up that person by seeking help from the right authorities together. So if I test, and I still find myself in that situation, it's still the same help. So why am I testing?
You see, if I may help the now, because of the experience I have in this their business of nowadays. You see, one funny thing is that you discover that most of these wayward guys, they are the people who get married to good men, rich men.
Yeah.
You understand? It's still a mystery to me. You see, ladies who come to prostitute in a hotel there. The next time you are seeing is a wedding card that she's going to get married. So I begin to wonder, see, who is going to marry this girl? Then you find out that the person is getting married to is a well-to-do person. So most of them, these ginseng people, they like something like that. You understand? Some of them too are in the business. You understand what I'm saying? So it takes two to tango at times. You understand? It's something they have done, so they don't care. You understand me now? Yesterday was my birthday, so my boys generally they threw a party for me last night in my clubhouse. So I was there. I didn't leave there until about 3 a.m. this morning. I saw what was happening there. I said, this is another hell on earth. You understand? Completely different from the normal setting. You understand? So you will see somebody, this gentleman, you will see him with this lady today. Next week, you are seeing the moderator with the same lady. They don't even care. They don't even care. So I don't know what has come over there. Maybe you have to call on people like the chairman Fidel Collar, use a pastor, to do world deliverance for our youth of now. Honestly, it's not funny, but that's just the thing. You know, it's not like that. It wasn't like that during our time. You know, you can't even a lady will not date. If a lady peradventure dates a man within the same community and they break up, no guys. You see, the pride was there. You know, you say, how can I go and eat the leftover of Mr. Johnson? You understand me now? But nowadays, who cares whether it's leftover or left anything? They take. You understand what I'm saying now? So the pride is no longer there. That sacred is no longer in the marriage. They are married nowadays is just contract, business contract between Mr. A and Mr. B and the product, children. If children comes, fine. If it doesn't come, they scatter and go their different ways. You understand? So it's the difference are just too wide. They are just too wide.
I'm sorry, being mindful of our audience. I once had a discussion with my medical doctor, and I asked her, I said, I was going to answer, I said, because I go to the hospital, I said, why is it that a lot of good girls are the ones who have infertility issues, and then a lot of these bad girls, they easily give back, and then they get married to good men, like Chief said. So and she said, this thing the question I just asked, what I just said, that data, my conclusion is wrong. That if she wasn't in that profession, she would also think like me. But if she tells me what these bad girls and their spouses are going through, medically and also as an off record, off camera, I would no longer say that. So I put this, I said, what's the point in being a good girl, God safe? You will not even marry a rich person, and then you still have some issues, sometimes practicing. And then she said, now those people, I only see them outside in their nice heels and everything, Ferrari, that if, as a doctor, if she tells me what they're actually going through in marriage, I would choose to just remain that my good girl and thank God for my life. So because we have to be careful. If I don't tell this part now, which is true, and I'm not actually butchering it, the young ones listening to us will think that, that means the bad girls actually. And that was what I thought. Until my medical doctor told me, please don't pray that you go through what they are going through. So that's it.
Sorry, I actually want to say something. Do you actually know that most of those good babes, they were initially most of them are always initially in a bad phase. Let's say they have done things that they are not proud of. Some of them might have given their life to Christ. I said some, not all. So now when we are trying to categorize between bad girls, good girls, they are winning and all, most of them, it's simply because of what they have seen. Now, what's the point of you keeping yourself till marriage for a man that has frolicked around? Most times you might even marry and the man will still not be satisfied, still go out there. So if you are fortunate to have a very happy marriage, stable marriage, you wait till the day of marriage to give your virginity to your man and all of that, and your marriage is sweet, fine. But what I'm just trying to say there, I am not saying everyone should sleep around or taste test and all of that. No, it is not even medically sound, And most times, for you to even decide to go into that, sexual concept, you must have undergone a series of tests. know, okay, is this person actually fit enough for you to do this, for you to do that. I believe marriage should go beyond doing weddings and all of that. There are certain medical tests that you have to do beforehand. Now, if you are saying that every lady, every woman should actually wait before marriage, does same apply to men too as well?
Yes.
It applies to men. So you're trying to tell me now that you would not allow your female child to marry a man that's been sexually active.
Now, I may not have total control of that, but I would guide as much as possible. And I think good should match with good. Should. I don't say it's always like that. So, and I said something the other time that in those days, you would even see someone, you would find someone like Shiv that would say, like he said that he saw a girl, Ajara's daughter, I didn't forget that name,
Yes.
and he was telling his son. I'm sure he has looked at that Madam Hajara, and he has seen that this woman's upbringing of her child is, similar to how I brought up my own son, and he tried to match, it didn't force them, it didn't work, he left them. So that's why I said I will only do my own best. I'm talking from my experience, like I said the other time. It's funny again that, at that point, there was a time, the flowering thing.
Okay.
There was a point where I was asking him then that, are you sure we are doing this thing right? So it's like he's a novice, I'm a novice.
Wow.
And I was just like, this pain is becoming too much. Are we done? Are you sure? Who are we going to ask? Who can we ask? Are you sure we're getting? You see, that innocence. He's not expecting something. I'm not expecting something. We are going to be fine with ourselves the way we are. Whatever we discover, we're going to see it as the normal thing, as we will assume that is what obtains everywhere else, because we have not explored. And so it takes care of that part of the relationship. Relationship may still fail. I'm not saying that is the
Sure.
but that part of the relationship, I've not gone wild and then I'm like, this guy, you're not doing like Paul, you're not doing like Peter. He's also not saying, your Ijoma used to be fire, waiting with this. There's nothing like that. And so that takes, and when you take care of that part, then the other part you handle it. And you've ticked a very important box. That's why I said, yes, I will also preach the same for the men. You would probably not say, but it seems that you are more on the female part. Yes, more on the female part, because even as a medical practitioner, you know today that female are more vulnerable, are more prone to both heartbreak and sexually transmitted diseases than males. So that's why truly I have to protect the girl child more. I have to be high on it when it comes to females. We don't have to. The truth is the truth. The fact is the fact.
Sure.
Let me add to that. Right, it still boils down to what I said earlier. If there's nothing to compare with, then what you have currently is the best.
It's the best.
I'm a young guy, so I can tell a lot of times, the ladies, sometimes you ask, how far did I do well? Be like, you tried. But, there's a but, my ex, so there's always some sort of, there's always comparison, right?
You have to run
And we've had partners, right, in the past where you can clearly tell that this person is a pro. Like, where did you learn from? So you're like, as a guy, you're like, that's even sometimes you see this bitters, I think Alamo bitters, and where guys take to enhance their performance, because a lot of times the ladies, like, their drive is way, like, you can tell that this person has had a lot of experience, right? So you see the guys taking drugs to match up, right? And it makes it look like, okay, there's nothing sacred about it again. There's really nothing sacred about it, which in my opinion it shouldn't be, right? It's supposed to be something that, when you're in it, the first time you're in it, that's when you get any sort of experience. But right now it's not like that at all. Like, we do say, for you to see sorry to use the word, for you to see a virgin girl now is like, I don't even know the word to use. It's almost mommy, okay, it's really almost impossible. I can tell you. Maybe you can, bro. You can think I just. When last did you?
I'm trying to think.
He wants to put you on the spot.
He wants to put me on the spot. He wants to come into this conversation.
And so, like, for a guy to actually see, sometime I was in a relationship with someone, right, and she told me she had given her life to Christ, in quote, that she wasn't going to have anything sexual until she gets married. First question I asked, "Are you a virgin?" She said no. I said, "And you're like," she was like 28. So, like, we can ask, "What? How many people have you been with?" She's like, she didn't tell me. No. So I'm like, why is it not my own turn now? My own turn. That you want to tell me that you want to wait till marriage. But it's now me.
They're actually quite
So
lucky because
so-
most of them might actually lie to you. A man can come to you and tell you that he's no experienced. He can come and fake that like sexuality, that he has not had sex with a female. Females too can also decide that, oh, they want to lie to their partner, and you would not know till you actually get into that marriage. Then cannot be compared to now. Females will go to any extent, male will go to any extent. You are saying that you're looking for a girl that is not sexually active. It's very simple. I will just fake it. I can lie to you that, oh, I have not had sex, and I'll act like a novice. So you enter into that marriage. And that's where the destruction comes in little by little. So you being very plain, very blank, it was then that it was, very, very sacred that if you decide to defile yourself before marriage, it's seen as a sin. It is till now, but, as you said, we move with the trend. We move
so
with
the advice is
trend.
based on the trend.
Doctor was,
I am not this based
doctor
on it.
was mentioning one factor that will actually encourage her to advise her patient to have sex before marriage. That a lot of men these days may be suffering from infertility. You see, it's actually the truth. Most of the young guys these days, they do a lot of activities, a lot of things that will actually kill their libido. Unlike our time, you can hardly find a man that's impotent. Then it's very rare. When you put 100 men down, then you can hardly find one or two that are impotent because of the way of life we were living that time, the kind of food we ate those days. But these days, you see all these young men, today you see the same man, he will come to a lunch, drink beer, drink aluma, drink everything. Tomorrow, you see him. Next tomorrow, you see Monday to Monday. How will his libido not be affected by alcohol? And alcohol is one of the things that kill
sperm cells. Yeah.
So you see, it's normal because of the way of life you guys live these days that you experience this thing. So I've counseled a lot of people who were married not quite 1 to 3 years, and then their libido, the husband libido started failing. And what next? You see, I'm sorry to say, if he carried it, he rubbed his hand on it, her hand, and he play with it, and the thing refused to get up. How will he get up when the fabrics of that thing has been destroyed by the kind of lifestyle the man was living before marriage? You understand what I'm saying? So the whole thing is very complex nowadays. It's just God that can rescue the youth of nowadays from this problem.
Wow, we've heard a lot. We've heard from the now, we've heard from the before. We now understand the role of sex in relationship. The before says it's supposed to be sacred. It's supposed to come after marriage. The now says you need to confirm what you want to settle with, so that you know that you are sure that you can withstand what you have. Fair enough, in both aspects, before and now. It worked for the before. Would I say it's working for the now? If I say yes, I'm correct. If I say no, I'm still correct. And that is why I want to move into this next question. And I'm going to be starting from before. When we talk about relationship, we talk about commitment, we talk about gender positioning. I want to ask, these days we look at gender equality. This is supposed to be the role of a man, this is supposed to be the role of a woman. But in now, it is now both man and woman are supposed to share their role equally. For the before, sir, what is your take on gender positioning in a relationship?
Thank you very much. You see, in our time, the gender, each has its own function. The male has its functions. The female had her own functions. My mother, in those days, her duty is to cook in the house, sweep the house, take care of the house, and serve us food. My father's role was to go to the farm, cultivate yam, cocoa, and all those stuff. Bring them home for my mother to prepare for. But these days, it's not like that. You will see the two of them, they will say they have to do joint account. That you must bring money, she must bring money, put in the same account, then from there we begin to buy tomato, buy onion, buy Maggi, buy this. I had 4 children. I have 4 children. They all went to school abroad. I must tell you that throughout the period they went to school and graduated. My last daughter graduated from Oxford as a medical doctor. I never took 1 kobo from my wife. All expenses were paid by me throughout the period we were schooling abroad. Because I found it very demeaning for me to go to my wife and say, come and help me pay my children's school fees. Because that is the mentality we had at that time. But nowadays, you will see the man say, we go and use his money to booze and do all sorts of things. He's the mother. Because the mother would not want our children to drop out of school. He's the mother who will not struggle here and there, do this, do that, to make sure that the children go to school. So in our time, everybody has his or her own functions, which we follow religiously. But now, there is no the function between, everything is mixed together. Everything is mixed together. You know. Thank you.
So, Ma, do you want to share more light on that
So
particular?
if we come a bit more recent, when it got to my time, it's not totally exactly like it's time anymore. That the man has to put 100%. It's not like, it's not out of place, and it's not that the 100% is still there, but probably not in that mix. There's a you could put in 100% money, and you could put in 70% money and put in 30% of something else and still makes it whole. I think that was not what now happened in my time. And then so we believe that so this is it. He goes out, he works, does this, probably he builds the house, and then he's not around. You need something probably to change the curtains, or even the children's school fees. They are not paid fully. You have some money, you also just pay because it's a family. It's not like it's a written law somewhere we do it. And then talking about joint account, maybe not necessarily joint account, but you realize that your husband is building a house and then it's at roofing level, he needs 2 million naira. Though we soon with time we discovered that when things now go bad, then they will say, who owns the land, who owns the house? Those things start coming up, yes. And then I once had the issue of whose name will be on the car papers. Your name was on this one, your name was on that one. So that is why I now advise that whatever you want to contribute to the marriage, especially for the woman, make sure it is unconditional. It's something you could actually forgo. You're not going to be fighting back for if something goes wrong. So whatever you know you would want to fight back for, please let it be in your name, or let it be written that this one, it's a debt I borrowed you. So draw the lines there. But it still does not mean that you should not assist. So that is a deviation a bit from, it's time. You should still assist, because at the end of the day, let me paint this scenario. You have 500 million naira as a woman, probably in money or in assets. There's a man in the house and you're like, maybe they said it's the man. You should do everything. I'm not going to do a cover. I'm not going to do. And you're his wife. And you're really committed to being wife. And you have children. And you think you will suffer it alone. Where will you spend your money? In his house. On who? On what? If you build houses and everything, you will get income from this money. Where will you still spend? You still have to buy something. So if you start dressing better, eating better than your husband or your children, it becomes obvious. And then you're killing that marriage already. So you can just draw the lines here and there. That is what happened in my time. But we still go all out to support. I know in the now, the billing thing, I know yes, and I don't blame them actually. I think I want to agree with them. kind of on
perspective
that, yes,
and
kind of because of the way things are now. So, but like I said earlier on, more men are becoming gigolos and gold diggers, even now that we think that the total billing, the total footing of the bill or the contributing scheme is no longer in vogue. In fact, I think we are moving around the curve of total reversal of what. And you see that response, that thing that makes women bill now. It's a response, it's an aggressive response to the trend they are seeing that it seems like it is these men that want to now be gold digging. No, then you want to.
Let me go for.
So that is an aggressive response to it.
Okay.
Now I believe that men, women, we have our different rules. I'm a feminist, but I say I'm a feminist, but I'm not the feminist, the definition of feminism out there.
Feminism,
I believe that a man and a woman are not equal. The
Okay.
man is the head, religious wise, cultural wise, and everything. So there's this meme that is going around now. You know, we used to say what a man can do, a woman can do better. But you see that meme now,
I like
what
that
a man
word.
can do, please let him do. That is what I'm saying now. What a man can do, let him do.
Let him do.
Yes, I am
Okay.
a baby girl. I've been saying that.
Oh,
And
okay.
so it's now like people are coming to realize that, so you now know the place of the men. Can he bill you the way you are billing him?
Exactly.
I think I ended there.
Okay. So sitting now. Thank you.
let me start by saying, for me, in this part, I had this particular conversation with a friend of mine, I think sometime last year rather, where this particular, should the wife work as well as the guy? I'm a bit old-fashioned, right, in this
Okay.
regard, because I'm from a family where the roles were clearly defined, right? My dad is clearly the provider. My mom takes care of the house. So it was very clearly defined. So I have always had a mindset that I am clearly the provider, right? Then if my wife is working or is to work, right, she's doing it out of purpose, right? So she wouldn't have to stay idle, right? Not necessarily because I'm expecting her to contribute, right? My fiance, right, I do tell her, okay, because sometimes she'll be like, she can't do 9 to 5, she's a baby girl and all that. I say, stay in the 9 to 5, because me now, I don't want, when we get married, you stay at home, because I know boredom leads to a lot of thoughts.
Yeah.
But I don't expect you to bring money, right?
Okay.
I'm to foot 100% of the bills,
Okay.
right? So that it's just naturally the way I grew up, right? The way I saw my dad act. But it sometimes helps. Sometimes she might just buy me like a palm slippers, right? I went out, I just saw these palm slippers and I will appreciate it. Sometimes she would just go out, maybe cook jollof rice, right? Just, I know when they pay her. I know when she collects her salary. I know that time. I feel it. Because that time, I'll see one palm slippers or one nice jollof rice or fried rice will come up, But it's not something I expect.
Put a ring on it.
Yeah, no, we have already. So it's not something I expect, but it's something like I appreciate when it comes.
Okay.
Right. But for the roles in terms of providing, I'm clearly the provider. It pushes me to work harder, because guys that depend, in my opinion, guys that feel it should be 50-50, I believe they tend to get lazier.
Sure.
Right? Because,
Okay.
me now, there's an extent my account will get to, I start getting worried, because I know that I'm not comfortable asking Abib, can you, and whatever money I collect is borrow. I should be collecting back. Right?
Yes.
She must collect it back. And I'll be like, Abib, you're owing me 30k, you're owing me 40k, that kind of a thing. And I'll be like, don't worry, I'll pay back. Do you get something? I'll be like, yeah, take this 100k. But that 30k I borrowed like
You
3
still
months
pay.
ago. She'll still remember, and I'll still pay. It just keeps me like on my toes not to get lazy. So for me, I don't really believe in the 50-50. Just
Okay.
that additional incentive to put more work in. But guys nowadays just believe that they must be with a working class, and why they want to be with a working class so that they can split income. I just believe it makes the guy lazy. That's just my own thinking, right? So
You are
I
in
think
the
that's
before.
my
You are in the
Eh,
before.
in
When
that
it come-
in
in
that
that
regard,
regard.
Yeah,
I'm
you
in the
still
before.
living in the before.
I'm in the before. I'm 100% in the
In the
before.
before.
He's in
I'm
the
100%
before.
in
Yeah.
It's
the
very
before.
difficult
That's
for a woman to let go her money.
Um,
Even
Daddy,
I'm very sorry.
Daddy, you are still owing money.
Since
Since 1963.
even when my wife borrows me money, she will tell me that she borrowed this money from her sister or from her cousin.
They don't used to have their own
That,
money.
no. Your money is our money.
Yeah.
mhm.
their own money.
It's their own money.
So that she can borrow you again another
So that is
time.
why, like you rightly said, you see, when you have that kind of mindset in your mind, it makes you work harder. It makes you
Very
go harder.
successful.
Because even marriage, you are supposed by our tradition, African culture, the man is supposed to be the head of the family.
Sure.
And they're supposed to, by all standards, provide for the family. So you will not say you want to wait for a joint account until my wife collects salary, then will not join with my own. You understand? So it doesn't work like that. You know, at least when you tell the father that you want to marry her daughter and put her on a 50-50 ticket, they just shut the door at you and ask you to go. Because they will know that this man is not serious, he's not ready to marry, he's not ready to fulfill, to perform his functions. Nobody is saying your wife cannot help you. You understand me now? There are times that we do have wives that are richer than the men. You see, sometimes that brings problem to a relationship. But there are some men who will naturally not like it for his wife to be richer economically than him. You see, women's small thing gets to their head. When the woman is richer and more economical, more powerful economically than as well, she begins to misbehave in the house. It happens. There are some women who are, you may be lucky to have them, very few of them, that will at least bow to their husband, irrespective of
Status.
the status. You get what I'm saying?
Yes. All right. So the final question to wrap up these wonderful moments. But before I go into the final question, I'll just ask a very quick question that deserves answer from both the before and the now. So the question is, would you prefer a washing machine or hand washing? Before, which one would you prefer? To wash with hand or to wash with washing machine?
Now or then?
No, generally, your personal opinion about all of this. Would you prefer to wash with your hand or to use a washing machine?
To be factual, in my home, I use both.
Okay.
Yes. Mostly, I wash my clothes with my hand.
Okay.
Then, I only spin in the washing machine. Because the washing machine, there are certain areas in the clothes that the washing machine will not be able to do effectively.
Okay.
Like the collar, like the pockets, and some other, even stains in the clothes. So it's always very good to soak this thing in the basin. You apply bluish, and then you look at all those stains. You use how to squeeze it and wash it properly. Then you cannot take the washing machine to spin it and then dry it before you take it for ironing.
Okay. So, Ma, what's your opinion?
I go for both, but the reason is different.
Okay.
Especially for my own clothes, for females, a lot of accessories that we use now, stones, bonnet, and everything. And the machines we have in Nigeria, most of them are weight washers. Put them in water. So if I'm abroad, where we have dry cleaning machines, that the clothes, you hang the
Dry
clothes
wash.
and you still wash. So I'll prefer to use a machine. But because we don't have one, and I don't think it's common here in Nigeria. So there are clothes that you cannot put into the machine. It just destroys the accessories. So, but for the general ones that can go into the machine, like towels and everything, it's fine if it goes into the machine.
So, the now, washing machine or hand wash? Clay.
Obviously, washing machine.
whether aesthetics or not aesthetics, washing machine.
Washing machine, please.
All right, so
Nothing to say there.
For me, I don't wash. I don't. But I would not. I can't remember last time
His
I washed
answer is laundry
personally.
agent.
Exactly. So I don't even know what they use at all. Just give it.
all right,
the
to round up
place.
this wonderful conversation, I'm going to have one question to the before and one question to the now. And the final question remains, if there is one thing you would like to bring back, this is to the before. If there's one thing you'd like to bring back in love, what would that one thing be? That it is no longer there and you wouldn't mind coming back to the now. What would that one thing be? This is to the before.
Okay, one thing.
One thing.
I think what I used earlier on, the agape thing, the loyalty, the commitment, the trust. My husband can go out, and I'm very sure that my husband is going out, not out.
Okay.
I know my husband is there. He's not going to do what I won't do.
Okay.
I'm going out. I'm not going to do what he won't do. And I have somebody that I can always lean on without any fear. It's no longer there. I
Okay.
want it. I want the transaction that we have now to be held, and then that will turn.
That's moment back. Thank you very much for being a part of this wonderful program. And we remain before meet now. We appreciate all our guests for coming up on this program and sharing their opinion, their thoughts, and their view about love. It's the season of love. It's February. It's Valentine. We hope the viewers have learnt a lot from this podcast. Hope to see you some other time. One more time, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.